Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Pixel Dreams and today we are starting something new. Well, kind of. We're actually resuming something. So back when I was a regular streamer, somewhat, I streamed my Ravenwood family Ultimate Decades Challenge, and I also had a blog for them, which is still there and may still happen if I get the creative motivation to continue it, but I decided that I am still off of work until at least September, more likely October, depending on how things go. And because of that, I really want to dive into YouTube, and I've been putting it off because I've been afraid of, I don't even know, like everything. So I've decided enough is enough, and we're getting back into it. But the way that I'm going to do this is going to be a little different than I used to do it. I'm not going to dedicate like specific LPs to the channel. I might in the future, but for right now, what I'm going to do is I am going to treat this YouTube channel like my own personal video diary in a way. I'm going to share my content with you guys, and if you enjoy it, that is 100% like amazing, and I'll be forever grateful for that. But it'll also just be a way for me to get my creative itches out and to share my content that I adore so much and have a backup of all of those things so that even I can revisit it sometimes. So with all that said, I'm going to do a quick little rundown of what's been going on in this Ultimate Decades Challenge because we're in a pretty critical point of this challenge. And the easiest way that I can do that is to show you the family tree. So I will be right back and I am going to show you the family tree that I've made for them on SimTree. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so here we are on the Sims tree. This is the Ultimate Decades Ravenwood family tree. So this is a family that has been dear to my heart for a long time actually. And I have made several iterations of them over the years that I've been playing with them, but this is the one that perhaps I've been playing with the longest aside from the original version of them. So the patriarch of this family is Pierce Ravenwood. Unfortunately, he passed away quite early on in the challenge. I believe he got ill, and it was just something that I couldn't rescue him from, and it was quite devastating because I was hoping that perhaps they would even have another child before that happened, but of course, the game had other plans for me. Now, Summer Ravenwood is the matriarch, and she is still around. There is a whole backstory to them, and I will perhaps do that as a separate video in the future, kind of give you a little rundown about Summer's story. But you might see this little icon here. This is a custom icon that I had made, and it is a symbol to mean that she is from elven descent, and she has magical powers. So she's a spellcaster, but in the lore, canon lore that I have, elves were the like original spellcasters, and people kind of sort of took the magic from them. Again, I can do another video on like the lore and everything that I have about this family because it's quite long-winded and I don't want to take up the whole video talking about that. But basically, elves were the original spellcasters, and over time it's been like diluted kind of through human spellcasters. So that's Summer. She does have a separate family tree here because she also has a brother who is in this save named Alistair Alistair Heather is their maiden name. And Alistair has a scar, and again, he's got a whole backstory, but basically he was kind of jealous of Summer because Summer was like the chosen child when they were younger, and she was actually supposed to take over the Elven kingdom because they are Elven royalty. And so Alistair really hated this, and it ended up kind of festering. He has since restored his relationship with Summer, and they've become quite close now. They actually live together on the island, and now they are working to try and protect their kingdom and this kingdom from some other corrupt people. So that's kind of long story short, but that's Alistair. Now, he was actually an elder, but they have been researching and working really hard in like the magic era or magic studies to find ways that they can protect themselves, their family, and other elves and people from corrupt power. And in doing that, they realized that they needed more time. So they have actually found a way to restore their immortality, Summer and Alistair. This is a little bit of a spoiler. And thus they have done so. So they will not perish unless they fail a roll from illness. Like they won't die of old age anyways. So yeah, that's kind of that. But he also realized that he was missing something in his life. He saw his sister and like the success that her family was, and he decided that he wanted a child of his own. Just in the event that something happened, he had a little piece of himself to leave behind. So he actually found a way to somewhat clone himself and have a child by himself. So this is Alistair Heather II. He is also of elven descent. He is pretty well, if not exactly, a clone of his father, and he's adorable and I love him, and yes. Okay, so that's Summer's little piece. Now, Summer and Pierce had 3 children. Their eldest is Mirabelle Fisher. Again, all of these Sims have like quite lengthy backstories, and I'm trying to make it super concise so I don't take up the whole video doing this. But Mirabelle was originally married to this handsome man, James Fisher. Unfortunately, James died almost, I think actually just before Pierce died, and it was quite tragic. But before that happened, she had a daughter with him named Juliet Fisher. She's beautiful, gorgeous, and sweet. I adore her. And she is now she's the eldest of the entire third generation of the legacy. So yes. Mirabelle then went on to marry Joe Fisher. It took her some time because she wasn't even wanting to marry before she met James, but she and James fell head over heels, and it kind of changed her plan. And then that kind of happened again with Joe. And with Joe, they've had actually several children, but only 3 of them survived past infancy. And unfortunately, their eldest son, Hugo, has recently just passed away. He failed his child role. It was tragic. We pled. It didn't work. And I'm still very butthurt about that. So yeah, so their eldest and heir passed. But they still have Nicholas Fisher, and then they also have a daughter named Isabel together. So they have 3 surviving children currently. Nicholas is currently the heir to the land that they have. And yeah, it'll be interesting because I think Juliet is going to fight a little bit because this land that they live on was originally her father's. And although Mirabelle remarried and had a son, Juliet might fight for it a little bit, and I don't blame her, so we'll see. Their second child is our main heir, and as you can see, this man knows tragedy. So the third sim that we lost quite early on in this challenge is Aine Ravenwood. She was amazing. I'm so upset that we lost her so early on, but unfortunately she died shortly after childbirth. She had complications, and that was a very devastating loss. So the child that she passed from after complications was not actually Silas. It was their second child. I believe his name was Bennett. And yeah, so that they had Silas together. He is their only surviving child. He's a teen now. He's thriving. He's doing amazing. So hopefully that continues. He is currently Evander's heir and the last little piece of Aine that continues to live on. Evander then took some time, actually quite a bit of time, before he decided to remarry. He met Beatrice and they were soulmates. They fell head over heels in love with each other. And although he loved Aine, it was just different with Beatrice. It was like this instant connection that he didn't even know existed, and it was everything he ever dreamed of. They had several children together, but unfortunately only 4 of them actually survived to infancy. So that would be Emmy and Alma were both twins. Unfortunately, Emmy passed away from an illness as an infant. And then Alma is currently still alive and she is a child. She is an amazing help to the family. She does so much for everybody and she's just super sweet and kind and cheerful, and I adore her. Then we have Emmeline, who was named for her lost sister. Alma and Emmeline have a little bit of a tension between them. I think Alma feels like her parents tried to replace her twin, and it's just not something that she felt very comfortable with. So although she loves her little sister, she does have this little bit of, I don't know, resentment, I guess, towards her. And then finally, we have Galen. And Galen was the last to be born to Beatrice before Beatrice passed. And it was awful. um Beatrice, I believe, I'm just gonna check something really quickly because now I'm forgetting. Yeah, so it was with Galen. So Beatrice was passed, unfortunately, when she was birthing Galen. That was absolutely devastating to Evander, but he was left with 4 children because Silas was still a child at the time and Alma was still a toddler, and he didn't know what to do. So he was actually approached by another family whose daughter had just become marriageable, so significantly younger than Evander, but they were horrible people and then borderline abusive to their daughter. And so as soon as she became marriageable, they arranged a marriage to Evander, who had somewhat have like has gotten a name for himself in the community because he's been a very hardworking sim since the beginning of the establishment here, and he actually befriended the Lord as well. So although he's still lower class, he is a peasant. They just recently became freed people. He is kind of well respected among the community members. And so when her name is Yesenia, when Yesenia became marriageable, the family arranged a marriage with Evander. And Evander was hesitant, but he realized that he really did need somebody in the home to help with everything. His mom was going to come and stay with him and did stay with him for a little while, but she wanted to return because excuse me. Hopefully I remember to cut that out. Anyways, Evander was really hesitant, but he realized that he did need the help. And so he agreed to the marriage because Summer had to return to the cottage that she was living in to help Alistair with his child, but also their mission. And Evander totally understood that. He also heard that Yesenia had a very traumatic life, and so he kind of saw it as a way to help her. Now, despite not wanting to actually have any other children and being very fearful of this because his 2 prior wives also passed in childbirth, Yesenia was very young and she was very eager, and she was kind of head over heels for Evander. It was like this hero complex almost. And so she did get pregnant, and she got pregnant with twins. So she had Perrin and Karis. Unfortunately, Karis ended up being a breech baby, and because of that, Yesenia passed. So once again, poor Evander is left in a house with sorry, I'm just trying to zoom out so that you can see it on your screen, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids on his own, plus 2 horses. So yeah, it's hard for Evander. Evander has experienced like tremendous loss in his life. Emmy is not the only child that he lost. He also had two other children, I believe, that were stillborn. So the poor man, like, let me just tell you. But he works really hard and he has hope in his children, and that's what keeps him going in the end. Now, the youngest of the family is the only child of Pierce and Summer to inherit the spellcaster trait. So Cypress lived with the main family until he came of age to get married, and it took him a little while, but he ended up realizing that his bestie, Isolde, was his soulmate. And so they ended up getting married, and they have done tremendously well. Cypress and Isolde work very, very hard. They're the youngest family members, but they are the most successful out of the three families. He owns a jewelry shop. He goes mining constantly. He takes Cassiel, his oldest, and they go mining, and then he crafts jewelry and swords and whatever he can from the materials, and then he sells it. He was the first of the three to become a freed person, but not only that, he's a merchant class. So he is middle class. He works tremendously hard. He also was the first to discover that he was a spellcaster, and so he's been working a little bit into that, but honestly, he's kind of removed himself from it because his priority mainly is to provide for his family. So the two of them have 4 children that have survived past newborn stage. There was, I believe, 1 or 2 children that didn't make it beyond that, but they've had a pretty good string of luck in terms of their kids and their just their overall well-being. So their oldest and heir is Cassiel. He is not a spellcaster, but he is their heir. Their second child, Pierce II Ravenwood, is also not a spellcaster, but is second in line to inherit their business. And then they have 2 daughters. They are not the same age. Elvira is a toddler. She is a spellcaster. And Eusoria is the current youngest, and she is also a spellcaster, but is an infant. So that is them. And that is the family. So it is massive and huge. You can't even see it all on your screen, but it's so amazing to play with them and to see their lives grow. So let's jump back into game and get a little bit of gameplay under our belts. Alright, so here we are back in game, and as you can see, Evander is holding his youngest little bean. This is Karis. Karis is the only child to have a different hair color than his father's, because his second wife and longest wife, Beatrice, was also blonde. So all of their children came out blonde because Summer was also blonde. So it's just, that was the strongest gene. But Karis actually inherited her grandmother's hair color, because although Yesenia was also blonde, her mother has black hair, and thus Karis inherited that. So it is very late at night right now. Evander is up with the youngest of children, trying to settle them in for the night. And it is a rough time for this family and all families, because the year is 1315 and it's the beginning of the famine. So if you don't know anything about the Great Famine, it is exactly as it sounds. Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on, but my infants are glitching out with the cuddle interaction lately. And basically what that means in terms of gameplay is our family had to get rid of all of their livestock, and they're only allowed to have 1 meal per day. It's quite devastating from this family specifically because they, that's how, oh my gosh, okay, sorry, hold on. This is how, Evander made most of his money to support his family, was through farming. So he raised cows, llamas, sheep, and mini goats, and he also had a vegetable farm. he still has it, and a small orchard started. But because of the famine, we were not able to continue with any of that. So that means that he's kind of had to shift the way that things are done around here so that he is still able to support his family. Because just before the famine hit, he also paid for his freedom, his family's freedom. So he took a gift amount of money, but he is gonna pay it back. His little brother doesn't know this, but Cyprus has always looked up to Evander because he was quite young when Pierce died. He was still a child, I believe, or just turned into a teen. And because of that, Evander was kind of his main role model outside of Summer. And so Cyprus saw that his brother was struggling immensely with the loss of his wives and just having to take a double role in everybody's life between having to raise the children himself and worry about finding a wife 3 times and then also taking care of the farm. His brother, like I said, was doing extremely well, and so he gifted his brother 15,000 simoleons to help buy his freedom. And he insisted that it was a gift, like a simple return for everything that Evander did for him. But Evander will not accept it as a gift, and he will pay back his brother when he is able to. But because he bought his freedom so close to the famine, they were left in a little bit of a sticky situation because we had to sell all of our crops, or all of our crops died. We had to sell all of our chickens. We had to sell all of our cows and our llama. We also had to, we gifted one of our horses to the Lord to help pay for our freedom. So we were left with literally a handful of simoleons, and then our wife passed, and now we have 6 kids to support on our own, and he didn't really have a way of doing so. So yeah, it was not an easy situation. So what he did is he transformed the barn that is not being used currently into a little shed where he and his eldest son, Silas, are using it as a way to now make money. So he is currently, I don't even know what this is. What is this? Okay. He is currently making money by doing some pottery because he's able to collect clay and then sorry, just trying to figure out what I want them to eat today. Yeah. So actually we should probably be careful with how many resources we are using. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so anyways, like I was saying, he can collect clay quite easily, and then he's able to make different things because he is quite creative and then sell them. Meanwhile, Silas has taken up candle crafting because they're able to get some wax. They had some in storage from when they had bees. And so he is making some candles that he is able to sell. Plus, he does some foraging here and there to kind of refill the family stock, but also to sell anything that may become like excess. Why can't you cook? Oh, because I turn around the fridge so that they don't take anything out of it because they're only allowed to eat once per day. That's fine. Okay, try again. There you go. So yeah, so between those 2, and then Alma, when she's not helping with the cleaning or the childcare, she works on cross stitching, and then she gives her creations to her father to sell. So they've been able to get a little bit of money put aside while doing that, which is pretty impressive because it has been quite tricky between having to care for all of the kids on his own and dealing with the famine. It's been really tough, but he's been able to put aside as much money as he can with the help of his two eldest kids, and it's really been a blessing. Now, the other thing that he does and is still able to do, thankfully, is we were able to harvest the last of the prairie grass, and so we were able to keep our two older horses. And what he does is he breeds them. So our mare is currently expecting another baby, and so oh, I'm sorry, Firefly. I'm sorry. We're out. We're coming. If we uh raise the foal well enough, then we will be able to sell the foal as well, and that will be another source of income, which is really what he wants to do. Is he wants to be a horse breeder, but it does take time, so he has to have something kind of on the side to support the family in the meantime, because we not only have to have our horses breed and then birth, but then we also have to raise the foal, because uh, well-trained horses sell for more. So it is a process. Oh, oh, all right, all right. Let's just make sure that we feed our horses before we do that, and then we will head over to someone who has just gone into labor and I didn't realize was actually pregnant. All right, so let's hop over there, and I will be right back. All right, so here we are. We're actually in our Lord's estate. So we have a Duke and Duchess that take care of Windenburg. We are in the Kingdom of Windenburg, and apparently our Duchess is pregnant. I don't think I did that. So that's interesting. I won't count it as one of their baby tries. They do have some more, but I was kind of waiting until the end of the famine to see if we needed to get people pregnant. So that surprises me. But she gave birth to a little girl. Now they have a little bit of a French theme because their last name is Allaire. And so I've kind of given their kids more French themed names. So I'm thinking what I should name her. Let's name her Mathilde. Oh, okay. So she gave birth to another daughter, which is probably a little bit disappointing to our Lord because we have lots of girls and only one surviving son who is the heir to the kingdom. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Um, but let's do a roll. Our first roll on camera. So I am going to pull up my spreadsheet because I don't even think I have my spreadsheet open. 1 second. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so here we are with the dice roller and we need to roll for both mom and baby. So first I always roll for mom, and since she is, I believe, a young adult, let me just double check. She just cannot roll a 1 or an 11. If she rolls either one of those, she passes. The first one doesn't count, thankfully. So let's go. Woof. That was close. But Genevieve, our Duchess of Windenburg, survives. Now we need to roll for the babies. And the way I do it is I use, oh my gosh. I can't think. Plum Bobs of the past. I use her amended rules, and therefore, our babies cannot roll a 1, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17, or 20. So, let's go. No! Okay. So unfortunately, Mathilde does not survive. And honestly, I don't foresee a lot of children surviving in the famine anyways. So I am going to head back to our main family and unfortunately say goodbye to little Mathilde Allaire. I will meet you there. All right, we are actually back here because I just realized that I forgot to do some age ups last year. So, we actually need to age up this little cutie here, Elise. She is the third surviving child, and she needs to age up into a child. So in order to do that, little Elise cannot roll a 3, 9, or 19. So let me put up that roller for you again. And let's go. She survives. So we're going to age her up and I will do a quick little makeover and I will show you the results. And while I do that, I'll give you a little bit of an explanation as to who this family is and why they're so important. So I'll be right back. All right, so here we are in Create a Sim, and I just wanted to give you a quick little snapshot of this family. So like I said, this is our duchy, like our duchy family. So they own the land that we live on until recently because we're now freed, but they control the land that we live in. So yes, so this is our little Elise that aged up. She's gorgeous. I adore her. Now, I cannot take credit for this family. I do believe I got them off of the gallery when I first started this save. I do not know who the original creator is, so I'm very, very sorry, but I don't take credit for them at all. But this is Charles Allaire. He is our current lord, and why does he only have like a few traits here? I don't know. But I'm going to give him some random traits that I feel like make sense for just the character that he has been in game so far. Yeah, okay. So this is Charles Allaire. He is, like I said, our Duke. He works very, very hard here, and he does a really good job. He actually is quite good friends with Evander now, and that is partially how we were able to earn our freedom, because you do have to befriend the local lord. His wife is Genevieve. She is beautiful. I actually believe Genevieve might be one of my Sims. I think Charles was the only one that I downloaded, if I am correct, because she looks a lot like one of my Sims that I've made in the past. I'm not sure on that, but this is Genevieve Allaire. She is the Duchess, and then they had Marguerite, who is their eldest, and I think soon to be a teenager. Their heir, Tristan, and then Elise, who we just saw, and then they have Nada and Georgiana, who are twins. So this is Nada, and this is Georgiana. They're very cute. And this little baby Evie is the horse that we gave to the Allaire family as part of our purchase for freedom. But yeah, now we have another birthday to get to, so I will meet you there. All right, here we are in the Valdis household. Now, this is both the Lord's family and this household. They are townies that are slightly connected to us. Like the Lord's family is obviously our ruling lord, and so they are very important to our family. And then this family is connected to us several ways. So first we have Catherine Valdis here. Catherine was actually pretty good friends with Cyprus and was a potential match for him in the past. they actually dated for a little while, but they just didn't end up working out. And it was, I think, a little harder on Catherine than Cyprus. But Catherine ended up marrying Uhtred, and Uhtred is Isolde's brother. So if you recall, Isolde, I will open up our family tree here quickly. Oh, it's not going to connect because I had some issues with that. Okay, I can't, unfortunately. But Isolde is actually Cyprus's wife. So she married his brother and had two children with, or actually, they had several children, but only two of them survived, which is quite tragic. And yeah, so they had Lester here, who is the heir to the land currently. He's a very cute little boy. I think he looks a lot like Catherine. And then we have Daxel, who is the sim that we are going to be aging up should he pass his roles. So he would be next in line for the land, and he looks a lot more like Uhtred. Now, Catherine's husband, Uhtred, died on one of his age up roles. I believe it was an illness that took him. And so then she remarried this man here, who I do believe I got off of the gallery. His name is Eric Valdez. And he helped take over the farm, and part of it was he would adopt the children because she actually had 3 children, I believe, at that time before they passed. And they did try to have a child of their own, but unfortunately that child did not survive, and Catherine has not been able to get pregnant since. So yeah, a little bit of a tragic life that way. So anyways, it is Daxel's birthday today, so we are going to be aging him up. We just need to see if he is going to pass his roles. So let's get on to that. And let me pull up my roller and share it with you. So again, for the child rolls, we cannot roll a 3, 9, or 19. And he survives. So I will meet you in Creator Sim. Alright, so here we are, and this is little Daxel Warner, a close-up of his brother Lester, and then Catherine, their mother, a gorgeous sim that I made before, and their adoptive father, Eric, who also doesn't have many traits, but we're just going to ignore that. Now, as I was saying before, these two families, the Lord's family and the Valdez family, I don't actually play with at all off screen aside from birthdays, because they are connected to our family, but not like significantly so. But my other side households, I do play with more, and thus there's a little bit more of like a story to them, so to speak. But now that the birthdays are done, we are going to jump back into our main family and continue with our day. So I'll meet you there. All right, so I actually lied. I lost track of time, and it's also Isabel Fisher's birthday. So this is her, and she did pass her age up rolls, so she is now an adorable little toddler. She got the charmer trait, and I will quickly just introduce you to Evander's eldest sister. This is Mirabelle Fisher. She's the only one that inherited her father's bright green eyes, and I love them. And unfortunately, I don't think any of her kids inherited them either. But this is Joe, her husband, who has like a great green eye color. This is Miss, oh, she did. Juliet. Juliet inherited the eyes as well. This is the only surviving of James. And then we have the current heir. This is Nicholas Fisher. He's gorgeous, little cutie. And then, of course, Isabel, whose hair keeps changing. So I may just change her hair altogether, which is sad because it is quite cute. But we'll just give her a different hair. I don't remember. I think it's this one, this color. All right. And there we go. So that is that family. And now for real, we will be back with the main family. Alright guys, here we are back in the main household. Everybody is actually sitting down for a little bit of a meal this morning because, as you know, we are kind of in the thick of the famine now. It's actually the last day of 1315 and we will be moving into 1316, so things are getting real in that way for sure. And it is also little Emmeline's birthday, so we will be working on that as soon as we settle everybody. But yeah, we're just getting settled in the morning. It's only 7:30 and we have been all over town aging Sims up, and now we're back here. So little Emmy, as we call her, will be aging up in a few short hours. I'm nervous because we really don't want to lose any Sims, and we've had some very good rolls with the other Sims, so I'm nervous that our luck may run out, because we have had such good rolls with everybody else's. So we'll have to see, but I'm gonna have Silas come out and work on the candles again. Why are you crying still, little miss? My goodness. Everybody's just fussing. Okay, Galen, did you eat, honey? You gotta finish eating, because if you don't, then you're gonna be hungry later, and we're not allowed to eat more than once, so I'm gonna be, getting rid of that food shortly. We did have a sale yesterday with the table, so we may not have the ability to do so today because we may not have too many items to sell, so we'll have to see if we do. What's wrong? You didn't like the food? Oh, honey, me. Poor baby. So yeah, so we may not have a yard sale or market sale today. We will have to see if we're able to complete enough things for us to sell. I will have Elma maybe start on a new pattern. Da, da, da. So that we could potentially sell that as well. And then, okay, once Perrin is settled, let's put him here and put Karis there, and then we will get Evander's needs kind of fixed and settled up here. And then, oh, hello? What? Oh, my dear. Okay. Well, I am confused by what just happened there, but all right. Let's get you to eat up some food. Let's filter holidays and birthdays. See, it's saying that Emmeline's birthday is tomorrow, but I did just have to like adjust everybody manually, so I may have just miscounted. Because I used to play with aging off, and so I had to like kind of adjust everything to say the correct days. All right, so now that everybody is full, we unfortunately have to say goodbye to this food and turn the refrigerator around. That is just something I do to prevent them from taking anything out of the refrigerator, like cheese or bread. The only thing that they are allowed to have now would be water, except for the babies. So the little ones here are able to eat as many times as they are needed. All right, he is desperate for some fun, but I'm going to quickly give Emmeline a bath. and then we are going to age her up. And we'll have to do her roles as well. And I'll have to figure out what I can do for her for some fun here. Why can't you bathe her? You most definitely can. I might send him out for a quick, what is going on? Why can't we get to the bath? Hello? Okay, let's try and just teleport them both over here and see if that will help. Not sure what's going on there. Why? Reset. Try that again. Give Emmeline a bath. Okay, I'm not sure why that's suddenly deciding not to work, but we're just gonna age her up then, and we'll do her role afterwards. So, sim command, set age. She is going to be a child. Dude, take a bath. Calm down. All right, so she rolled. I always do 3, loves the outdoors, and I do this new development mod because it helps them kind of figure out what they want. All right, let's jump into Create a Sim and see what she looks like. All right, so here is our gorgeous girl, Emmeline Ravenwood. She is such a little stunner. I think she's a very good mix of her and her mom, like Evander and her mom, Beatrice. She still looks, I think, most like Beatrice, but it's so hard to say because she's just unique. She's just her, and I really love that. But yeah, I loved the hairstyle that she grew up with. I thought it was kind of perfect for her. I was gonna keep the braids, but I liked this look for her, and yeah, so that's her. We're gonna hop back in game. All right, we are back in game, and it's a rainy Tuesday, and we're just getting ourselves settled still. Yeah, so it looks like the twins are probably going to be taking a nap. Galen is wandering and going to go play some dolls. Emmeline, she's feeling a little bit left out, which is kind of sad. Hopefully she'll start to feel a little bit better and happier overall in a little while. And we are going to focus just on the rest of the day, just making some money for the family. So Silas, actually, I made, I'll just go here. I made a small space up here for him. Now, we did have this room originally set up for, for Summer when she came to stay with us for a little while. And then I sold the furniture to help support our need to buy our freedom. But now we have a little bit more money here. So I transformed this space into, like I said, a little space for Silas because I'm thinking he could definitely use just a little bit of a private space now that he's a little bit older, and his sister needed a bed anyways, Emmeline, because she has grown out of the toddler bed. So we invested a small little amount of money in that for him. Now, I do have the illiteracy mod, and that means that Sims need to learn how to read. And the thing with that is, Summer was royalty at a point, and thus she actually was literate, and it was really important for her to teach her kids to read and be literate as well. So all three of them, Evander, Mirabelle, and Cypress are literate. And Evander has tried really hard to make sure that his children are also literate. Unfortunately, I believe Silas should be. So I'm gonna give him that cheat. I think I removed the mod at some point. Oh, he's at level 4. Okay, so he's almost literate. So we'll have him keep practicing. And then Alma is currently learning it as well. But she's quite far behind, actually. So I should probably get her to practice her reading as well. But she only aged up a short time ago. But yeah, so that's why I did put a bookshelf up here, because I figured he could come and sit and just read and relax if he just needs some time to himself as well, which it looks like he could use that time. So I may have him, I don't know if he could actually read yet, because no, he can't. So why didn't that work? Okay, does Alma have a broom? Yes. Can you sweep? Get rid of the dust bunnies up here. And then I will let him practice reading as well. All right, so we have another candle we can sell. Did Alma finish that? No, so I'll let her work on that after. Evander, I wanted you to actually... Oh, he's asleep. I was going to have him go for a ride with Farley. But it seems like he's unable to do that. So why don't you play for a little... Oh, you're too tense. I don't know if we can ride Farley, or Firefly. Yeah, because she's pregnant. Okay, let's wake up Farley. Farley! Let's go for a little ride. Yeah? Get some energy out. Oh! Speaking of, Firefly's having a baby! She's frolicking. Come on, honey. Yay! I'm so excited. Hopefully this baby looks a little bit more like Firefly. She's a gorgeous horse, and the other one, Evie, was like a clone of Farley, who is also gorgeous, but I really love Firefly's markings, so. And I don't roll for the horses. They're babies. I just let them. A foal is born, and it's a girl. It's a filly again. So let's name her Duchess, because that was originally the name that I was going to give Evie, but yeah. She does. Oh, she's a little firefly clone. Oh, so cute. I love her. And I think it said, congratulations on the birth of your new foal. Duchess has gained the unique breedable trait, Curious. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh no, I don't know if I'm going to want to sell little Duchess. She's too cute. So she's actually curious, brave, defiant, and independent. Oh my goodness. What a cutie. Sorry, honey. Your son's got a lot going on right now. There we go. I knew that would boost his fun up a little bit. So this is actually the Fisher house, Mirabelle's house. This is where his sister lives. Cypress is the only one that moved off of the island. The rest of them all live on the island, so they're quite close together. This is where Summer and Alistair live, this home here. As you can see, it's a nicer home because they did have quite a bit of money. Well, Alistair ended up inheriting quite a bit of money. So yeah, this is Summer and Alistair's part of the island. It's kind of on the corner, and my thinking is it's like a little bit more hidden and sheltered because they are trying to hide from some pretty scary people. And then we are kind of more in the middle of the island. All right, did you clean up your upstairs? Yeah, good job. So the girls are just practicing their literacy skills. Galen is playing. The twins are sleeping. Why are you angry? Oh, from losing your mom. I feel really bad. Like, we lost Beatrice and Yesenia in very close succession. So, yeah. I do feel quite bad for all of them. Okay, I'm sorry. Instead of watching, I'm gonna get you to be making some stuff. Let's do a cake stand and an oil burner and maybe one more. Let's do a potter or plant pot. All right, and I allowed Silas here to finish eating because he didn't finish his food, which is why his hunger was down. So if you were curious about that, that is why. Oh, just kidding. Pause. The twins are awake. Okay, let's come feed little Perrin and then change his diaper. I may have Silas help with Karis if she gets too fussy, but right now it seems like she's content, so. Ooh, I need to start a new club for him because we have a kids club, which he was the leader of, but he obviously aged out of that. So I want to do a teens club now. And we are going to invite only. The only requirements is that they all have to be teens. And the activities are just going to be friendly. We'll even allow them to be a little flirty. They can be funny. They can, what can we do? Play chess. And yeah, do archery. All right, so let's see who we can add. We can add our cousin Juliet, Agnes Barr, Amy. Oh, we got quite a few. And I'm gonna cheat the club points just because I use it kind of as a way for. Oh, did that glitch out? What? I might have canceled it. I'm gonna try it again. See if this works. You know what? I'll just keep that. That's probably better. Social, be flirty. Instead of with each other, we'll just be friends. They're flirty, like with everybody. We'll just be with each other. Friendly with everyone. And then we'll do. Yeah, we can do like stargazing. Actually, we should do bonfire if that's an option instead. Yeah, okay, campfire. And then play chess and potentially archery as well. There we go. And the only activity that is banned is we are not going to be mean or mischievous to anybody, because those are kind of like, you know, or fight. Okay, try this again. Juliet, Agnes, Amy, Douglas, Hugh. Oh, it didn't like that. Okay, let's do... What's more teen? Do that. There we go. Okay, and then I do cheat this. I think I need 700. Just because I use it not more as like a club. I use it as like a way for people to get to know each other. So I unlock these. There you go. What? Did I not? There we go. Okay. And then we can add the rest of the teens there. Perfect. And then Alma is now the leader of the kids club, and we are going to add the recent kids. There you go. Oh, I don't know why that glitches out lately. And honestly, we should just let the kids have a gathering with the kids. And maybe let the teens also have a gathering so they can just hang out. I'm sorry, Summer. I do love you, but like, we're not supposed to have that. And so with the teens and the children, I don't really worry about social class, especially because our community is quite small anyways, and our family has befriended the Noble family. I don't worry too much about like that difference amongst them. But yeah, I'm actually kind of hoping that one of our kids may marry into the Noble Alair family, but we'll see. Good girl. She's so cute. I love her. Oh, our little one is reaching a milestone. So cute. Silas, why don't you play with Perrin a little bit? Yeah, so it appears not everybody is dressed in appropriate clothing. Ignore that for today. I will try and work on that. But Jonah here, over here actually, this was actually Yesenia's twin brother, which is really sad. And then Landon, the redhead, is his younger brother and Yesenia's younger brother. So that's also very, very sad. And then the Byer family here, they are a long time group of townies that I've had for quite some time. Again, that I don't play. They're just like literal townies kind of in the background. There's Daxel, who we just aged up, and Lester. I believe Alma is actually getting along quite well with Lester, so we should maybe have them chat. And he was actually getting along with Agnes, which we can have them chat as well. Although Yeah, I don't know. Let's have you chat. See, who's this? Douglas Catley. Okay. Oh, oh, Juliet. Oh my goodness. Has Juliet chosen her man already? I just need to control her for a second. I need to see this. Juliet, you barely know him. Oh, that's not the right one. Jonah. She's very attracted to him, but they're not soulmates or anything, and they don't really get along too well. So we're gonna ignore that. When I said be flirty, I was hoping that it was just gonna be like flirts and not anything too scandalous. So we'll have to see how that goes. We have so many people in the house. Oh, Mariana, are you pregnant? No. Okay, I've just never seen a sim built with like a very prominent belly like that. Okay, interesting. Yeah, he does seem to be getting along quite well um with Agnes here. I'm curious to see. He is very attracted to her. We're not really sure how she feels about us. We could potentially ask. Friendly. No, I think it's in attractiveness. No? Maybe it's in relationships. Where is it? I can't find it now. Other relationship, learn more. Yeah, ask for attraction level. Ooh, how are you two doing? Are you guys friends? Oh, they are. They're like just about friends. Oh, you guys can like oh, that's so sweet. Why don't you go play hide and seek, actually? Um, Silas was also befriending Lady Marguerite, but I'm actually not entirely sure when her birthday is. Oh, it actually is coming up. So she'll actually be joining us soon. Oh, Agnes finds him very attractive as well. So I do have emotional deaths turned off because I do find them kind of too overpowered, especially because I do play with mods that can cause like illnesses and death anyways. So I try and just ignore that. There you go. Go play hide and seek. Where's our daughter? Oh, honey. Okay, she's going to sleep. Galen is off to bed already as well. Actually, I am going to let Evander here give a drink to Galen because you are allowed drinks just to kind of boost his hunger a little bit while everybody is just hanging out here. And we're going to end this soon, but I thought it would be fun for them to hang out. So let's play archery and ask maybe some of the boys to join us. That would be fun, I think. Oh, Silas has a major crush on Agnes now. Oh my goodness. Okay. Why don't you get some water to boost your hunger need up a little bit as well. All right, so Silas is out here. He's going to start a game of archery now that it stopped raining. Let's grab a few people to come play with us. Yeah. Alma is playing hide and seek with her friends. Oh, it looks like Emmeline is like, nah, I'm tired. Poor girl. All right, we're gonna end it soon anyways, the club gatherings. Oh, I might be a little bit frozen here. We'll see if I might be getting an error because everybody seems a little bit stuck. Be right back. All right, we're good. I just had to go into manage worlds and back and it kind of reset us a little bit. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. I'm thinking it's probably more related to just too many sims on the same lot is my guess, but yeah. I'm just gonna copy over Jonah's outfit onto Hugh here. And that will solve some of the improperly dressed sims. And we'll do the same for your sister. And then we will take Juliet's outfit. And we'll put it on Agnes. Okay, we don't have another teen girl that's dressed. I don't want everybody to be in the same outfits, but it would be nice to have them dressed properly. So we'll leave Mariana for now. I'll have to edit her. But I think it will be time to kind of end our gatherings and send everybody home anyways, because it's starting to get quite late. So we're going to send everyone home and get everybody settled for the night. And I'm actually going to wrap up this video here. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It does help a lot with the channel just to push it out to people who like videos just like these. And also, I will be trying to release a video pretty much daily from here on out. It will depend on what my situation is and what I'm feeling, and that will depend on what I'm releasing. But right now I'm knee deep into the historical play, so it's quite possible that it will continue that way. But yeah, thank you again for watching, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day, night, evening, wherever you may be, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!